One of my great heroes is the woman at the well, and her name was Photina. She's a saint in the Catholic Church and also in the Eastern Orthodox Church. We often look at her as being some sort of woman who's victimized, but I don't think so. Given the way she spoke to Jesus, she appears to be a woman who would just take people's man. Because when Jesus asked her, "Where's your husband?" she said, "I have none." He says, "Right, you've had 5 husbands, and the one you got now, 6, is not yours." She has husbands who were not hers. And the thing about that is that the woman needed something. Her behavior was not so that Jesus would find her objectionable or a woman who should be unwanted or shunned. And thank God is that way, because sometimes our conduct, as people look at us, may people may view us as being unwanted and that we should be shunned. But this woman who did probably the most outrageous sins that men can think of, here she was standing before the Lord and being accepted and being advised. We often give women a really hard time, and I don't know why, because I don't think it's biblical. The Great Commandment says we love our neighbor as we love ourselves, and Eve was our first neighbor. Ephesians 5 talks about how we must give our lives for our wives and love them as we love our own bodies, and send them and present them without fault. So I don't get this thing where the behavior of women who may mimic ours makes them some sort of diabolical thing. It's wrong, and evidently Jesus did not agree. And she came to Jesus and he said, "Give me to drink." The very thing that we come to the Lord for, or the very thing that we're looking for, he has a way of demanding it of us. We want to save our lives. He may put us in a situation that may take our lives. Abraham and Isaac. Abraham wanted a son, an heir. And the Lord said, "Give me that child." For centuries, millennia, thousands of years, the Jews waited upon the Messiah, and God took him away in front of their eyes, made them give him up because of their conduct. And because of her conduct, Jesus said to her, "Give me to drink," even though she needed it. She came for that. And she says to him, "Hey, you're a Jew, you don't like us. Therefore, how are you going to ask me for this and you don't like me?" Oftentimes, when people challenge us, we think it's them, but it very well could be the Lord. Jesus said, "If you only knew the water that I can give you everlasting life, you would ask me to drink." Jesus is saying, if you only knew, if you'd only ask him for the thing that you really need, that you're really seeking for, he'd give you something that would last an eternity and bless you. And she says, "I want this water." And he says, "Of course, go and get your husband." And we know she ain't got no husband. She got other people husband. And Jesus says, "Right, you had 5. But she lapses back into her last resort, and it's often our last resort. A famous philosopher or person said that religion is the last resort of scoundrels. She goes to her last resort, and she speaks about how even though he might be a prophet, yet still she holds to her beliefs and her religion, and a challenge to what he has revealed to her, in a challenge to what God's revealing to you. Are we bringing up religion? And he says to her, "There's no time for this. That time is over." The difference that you and the Jews have. Just because you're a Samaritan, I don't play that game either. And he says that's not it. And he said, what God seeks is people who worship him in spirit and in truth. It's not the water you're looking for that's going to save you. It's not the things, the people, the husband, the wives, the houses, the businesses that you're looking for. It's going to save you. It's going to be worshiping God. And once she hears that, it clicks. And she understands that through all her getting, she finally got an understanding that the ability to lure was being misused because she was called to evangelize. And she evangelized men. She says, hey, guys, she went to the town and says, hey, come see a man who told me all about me. And they will learn that this is the Messiah. And she thereafter became a great evangelist. That's why she became a saint. She was so awesome and so powerful that she was finally martyred because of her conduct. One legend says she was thrown down a well. Often, that which is our greatest humiliation, especially if it happens over and over, is just our ability, our calling, our gift being misused. Jesus approached her the way he approaches the parable of the sower of seed. She was stony ground. He kept at it, and then thorny, and then still fell by the wayside. She fell back on religion, and finally, when she had no more defense, and she finally heard the Lord and received the good word. Jesus was headed to Galilee, and that was the heathen circle. And he was supposed to avoid Samaria because it was disgusting to Jews. So Jesus will come directly to your mess, directly to your outrage, and he will speak to you. And today, are you going to receive the word and accept his living water?